Hello, everyone. This is Nicole with Easy Organized Life, and I wanted to go over how I budget currently in 2025 by month, but also by paycheck. I really like looking at my month, and in my mind, I think of the month when I'm thinking about my budget and my money and where everything's going and what I need to spend. But I also really like breaking everything out to paycheck because different bills come due at different times, even if they're on the same day every month. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. So let's just dive right in and get going. So this is the monthly budget sheet that comes in the budget planner. And what I do every month is I grab my monthly budget sheet, and then I will grab my bills tracker. I will look to see if there's anything that I need to pay quarterly, or if something is coming up, like our Blink and Ring comes out once a year on different months for some reason. And then, like NFL Sunday Ticket, that usually I think is like a couple, one year I paid it all at once, and then one year I think I paid monthly payments. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do this month, but I do need to make a decision. So I go down, make sure that nothing is sticking out. This August is going to be pretty normal. So I went ahead and filled out August, so you didn't have to watch me do that. So here is August all filled out. And so then the next thing I do after I write everything down, and then I'll jot things down that I know are coming up, I will go ahead and break this out into pay periods. And that is where my yearly calendar comes up, because even though we actually get paid every week on Friday, but it hits our account on Wednesdays. So I actually budget from Wednesday to Tuesday. And so I pull out my calendar, and then I will go ahead and mark out the pay periods. So let's go ahead and do that so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So the first pay period is going to be from August 1st, to the 5th. So what I do is I just draw a line right here, and then I write August 1st through 5th. And then the next one is going to be the 6th through the 12th. And then the next one is the 13th through the 19th. We've got the 20th to the 26th. And then we have the 27th, and it actually goes all the way to September 2nd. So what I'm going to write is 27 to September 2nd. And then I'm going to write down here, let's see, we have to pay the house. And then we have to pay the gym. So this is why I really like budgeting per pay period or paycheck versus every month, because I need to figure out how to pay these two bills within this paycheck. And sometimes it'll go all the way up to the 5th. So now I know I have to include these in here, and I can go ahead and start making my budget by paycheck. So I take this information. Now this is my main master reference sheet. So if I'm having like a bad week health-wise, or I'm super busy, I will just refer to this. I know that I have $200 for groceries. So when I'm ordering groceries on the app, it's really easy to just know to stay under that. And then I'll go ahead and look at this list and pay what's here. So that is like bare bones minimum what I will do. The next thing I will do is I will go ahead and break out I'll write down each pay period so that I can see exactly what I'm looking at. And then I can kind of make decisions on like, when am I going to schedule the vet appointment? When am I going to buy the Freddy's, our cat's food? When are we going to go to Costco? So I already went ahead and filled those out for August so that we can look and see how I did this. Now there's 5 pay periods in August. Let me see something really quick. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. But there's only 4 paychecks. So again, this is why I really like looking at the month and the pay periods. So one thing that I want to note, if you're looking at this, these numbers are approximate. These are not our actual budget numbers. They're pretty close, but just because everything's on the internet, like we don't need to have like exact numbers. And then I wanted to let you know that this obviously does not add up to 352. We have a separate, like we have an automatic draft that pulls our house payment out every paycheck and it puts it into a separate bank account so that we know we always have that ready. And it's like, if I make a mistake with like, if I overpay something or I make a mistake, like I know that that money is always going to be there to pay the mortgage. And that is just like a peace of mind thing. So I will write down that I have to pay the house, obviously, so I don't forget, but I won't include it in the actual total. So when I go ahead and look at what like the basics are, right? Like these are the things that we have to pay, we have to budget for. I will look and see like, okay, so these 2 weeks, we have a decent amount left. This week is super tight. So over here, I would say this week and this week, I want to look at scheduling our vet. I want to consider going to Costco. So I'll go ahead and get online, see when I can get an appointment. And 1 week will probably be the vet. 1 week will be Costco, and then I'll probably order, oh, I already have the cat food up here. So he's already accounted for there. And then let's see, this pay period is deceptively large larger because we have some extra things in there. So it's really interesting to see it broken out here. And then this way, I like to, you know, again, like look ahead, see like, okay, we're going to have to be really tight here because those are some really big bills that all come out together. So I know ahead of time, like this week, we're not doing anything extra. I might go ahead and try and spend less on food here so that, you know, we have like a buffer. But so that is exactly how I figure out and do my budget. Again, if I'm super busy, I'm not having a great health week, this goes out the window. This is just when I want to dive a little bit deeper. I will also write down things like if I go shopping or something pops up and we have to pay that, I will go ahead and jot it here. And then I will add it to the spending column over here. The spending is, I use it for like, what is it called? Perimenopause. I use it for things that don't come out every month normally. So like we only have to buy his cat food like every other month, every 2 months. The college payments, there's only 3 total every semester. So we're obviously not paying that, you know, like every month, but we do save money for it every month so that we can just go ahead and pull the money out of that other account. So that is what we are doing with these leftover amounts, is that we are putting them into college, Roth IRA, you know, just saving for things like that. And so these might look like pretty exciting, but they get allocated really fast. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. This is the simplest method that I have found for keeping things straight when I want them offline. I actually do an online version as well, which I will do a video about. But this is the bare bones. This is where we start. I always start on paper so that I can see everything, write it out. It really helps me kind of get a grip on things. I like the online version that I have for future planning, to move things around. That's where I will play with, like, how much are we going to put in our 401k? How much are we putting towards savings? How much are we putting towards college? So that I can play with the numbers. They easily move back and forth. I'm not manually calculating, erasing, rewriting. So both methods I really value, and I use them for different things, but this is my tried and true. It's very simple. It's very easy. I probably could design this a little bit differently to accommodate this, but I really like breaking it out, seeing it, because it's like, oh, there's only 2 bills that are due in this pay period. That looks so tiny, but actually it's the biggest pay period for bills. And then something like this where there's 3 or 4 bills due, it's like nothing. So it's very important to get a grip and an idea on what is going on for your month and for each pay period. Again, you can find all of this in my shop. If you have any questions, let me know. If you can't find the link, let me know, but it should be in the description, and I will see you soon. Bye.